access modifier. As I mentioned,
all the time.
So non-access modifier keywords are just static, abstract, final. These three are important for us. So first, today we'll discuss static keyword. So what is mean by a static keyword? So static means, so its meaning itself is telling static. It doesn't change, right? That's a static. So static keyword, when you can use, when you can apply, where you can apply. So, and these are the things we should know that. And static keyword can be applied on method, variable, and block. In some cases, in the inner classes, you can use for class also. Static inner classes you can create. We don't need that much, but know this also. Mainly, static keyword can be used in the method, variable, and blocks, static blocks. And in the inner classes also, you will use static. Where you can use that, I have given now answer. So where you can use the static keyword on the methods, signature, on the variable syntax, and the static block syntax. And inner classes also you will use. Inner class means one main class inside another class. That's the inner class. This is the where you can use static keyword. Then when to use, that's the most important, right? When to use the static keyword. So when to use a static keyword is, static keyword can be used when there is a common thing, when there is a common to many objects. If any property is common to many objects, then you can use static keyword on that property. You can declare that property as a static. So when one property is common to all the objects, that time you declare that property as a static. Then what will happen is, it will occupy the memory only once in the class area memory. So there is a method area I have shown in the JVM architecture time. There it will go and store only one time, and you can reuse for n number of times. That's the static advantage. It saves the memory also. It saves the memory. But only if it is a common, only how to use this static keyword. If it is not common, you should not declare everything static. And the static keyword, if used, that means, okay, it is a common. Then you can use that static keyword, and it will occupy memory only one time, and that will be reused n number of times. You can reuse n number of times. That's the static keyword, where to apply, when to use. And what will happen if you use? The memory will be occupied only one time. So for that object, memory is occupied only once. How many times you call? Only one memory. So that it saves the memory. If you're using for n number of objects also, the memory only one time it occupies. That's the main advantage of this static keyword. Okay? Is this clear about static keyword? Then we have to see static variable syntax, static method syntaxes, and the static block syntax. Static block syntax. So we'll see all of them one by one. Let me show you that. What is static variable syntax? Static variables are, so we are going to discuss later, but static variable syntax is access modifier, static, data type, variable name equal to value, semicolon. That's a syntax, static syntax. So a lot of examples I have given, but please go through that, but we need mainly the syntaxes. Static methods syntax. Before giving, I want to give static variable syntax. Here is the one. Static variable syntax is access modifier, static, data type, variable name equal to variable value, semicolon. So you already know access modifiers means. You already know access modifiers, right? Four access modifiers we have. Public, default, private, protected. These are the 4 access modifiers. Always, wherever I am referring access modifier means, you need to remember only those 4 keywords. Then static. So data type I'm going to give you. Data type I'll give you. So then variable name equal to variable value. So this assignment operator we call that. Single equal to is called assignment operator. That means you are assigning right side value to the left side variable. That means you are copying. What this assignment operator will do? It will copy this value into this variable. So what is this assignment operator will do? This value will be copied into this variable. That means this value will store here. With a name, you are giving some name for this value. That's assignment operator. So what is double equal to? Double equal to is a comparison operator. You want to compare any 2 numbers, then you will use a comparison operator. Please remember this. Many people doesn't know what is difference between single equal to double equal. Double equal to will compare 2 numbers and give a Boolean value to you. But a single equal to, it just copy the right side value to the left side variable. That is the assignment operator. Assigns this value to this variable. That's a simple static variable syntax. What is a static variable syntax? Access modifier, static, data type, variable name equal to value. So if you remember this syntax, wherever you want to create a static variable, you can easily follow that. You know all these keywords. I'm going to give everything. Access modifier I have given already. See now here, access modifier is a blank. I started directly with the static keyword. Then what is the access? What is the modifier name here?
Default, sir. Default static variable.
Default static variable. So, and data type is a string. So variable name is yes equal to, and the value within double quotes means that's a string representation. It is a string representation. Okay, it's a string representation. And then we have a public. See that access modifier I given public. Static as it is. Data type string. And variable name is college name. So equal to JNU. Within double quotes means this is a string value. See the left side data type is a string. And right side value also string value. Both sides it should be same. Same data type. Value under the declaration of type also should be same. If left side different data type and right hand side different data type means you will get a type mismatch error. So that we will discuss in the coming classes. Next, access modifier private. Static, data type is int. So variable name is I equal to value is 10. So that's a private static int I equal to 10. So now I contains, what is the value? What value will be there?
10 integer.
It is an integer value.
So I contains a 10 value. I contains a 10 value. In the I variable, what value is there? 10 is there. 10 value is stored there. If wherever you want 10, you can just call I value, I name. So you will get the 10 value. See, access modifier protected. Static, static. So data type we used here, float. X equal to 25.5. So this is the see, I have created 4 variables with this syntax. See here, public, static, boolean, b2 equal to, see here a single equal to is there, double equal to also there. I double equal to x, what it will do?
It will compare two values.
So what is the I value, what is the x value?
I value 10 and X value 25.5 float value.
So we will get a, so output, what is a true or false?
False, sir.
False. So the false will, this is the output, this value is false. False is stored in the B2. I hope everybody getting this. These are basics are very important. Anybody not able to get, please. So raise your voice and I will explain again. So this is crucial for your programming. Please understand all these basics. So it will help you a lot. Okay. So that's a static variable syntax. Tomorrow I want this syntax should be explained by everyone and write and send it to me in mail. So there is no exclusion. Only Swati is sending. No, I don't want. Everybody has to send that. Okay. Next, static method syntax. What is static method syntax? So we have methods 2 types. Static method, non-static method. So what is static method? So if a method has a static keyword, then that method is called static method. And you can use that method without creating object also by class name. You can call class name dot static method. So when I was explaining about system class, I already told about static method. You can call the static methods without creating object. You don't need to create object to call the static methods. Just with the class name dot static method. Even a static variable also, class name dot static variable in another places, not in the same class, another places. Okay, so let's see what is the static method syntax without parameters. Access modifier, static, void, method name, parenthesis, curly bracket, method body, curly bracket ends. So again, access modifier, you know already access modifiers. Static, void, method name, parenthesis, method body. Method body. You can use the method body. You can use the method body. That's the static method syntax without parameters. Parameters, without parameters means parenthesis inside. If there are no parameters, that's a without parameters. So round bracket is called parenthesis. So here, so based on this syntax, I have created a few methods here. See this. Public class static demo. So private static. See that access modifier is private. Static. Void. M1. So curly bracket method body. Then here, second one, default static void M2 and method body. Protected static void M3. So then method body. Public static void M4. See, every time method name is changing and the access modifier, you can give a different access modifier. You can give a different access modifier. Method body inside, you can write whatever you want. Main logic is inside the method body. So that's the static method syntax without parameters. There is no parameters here. Next, a static method syntax with parameters. So this is the one, access modifier, static, void, method name. So bracket data type, P1 comma data type, P2 and so on. How many parameters you want? First parenthesis inside you have to write a data type, then parameter name you give. So here P1, P2, P3, all these are parameter names. You can give any name, but first data type is mandatory. Then one space, then parameter name. If you want to write one more parameter, you have to put a comma, then first data type, then parameter 2. So you can write a method with 0 to n number of parameters. A method with 0 parameters. See, these are all 0 parameters. But this one, you have a, see that I'm writing here method, access modifier is a public, static, void, method name is M5, bracket, data type is int, A is the parameter, comma, second data type is a float, B data type is a float, and C data type is a char. So method body. So this is the parameterized method syntax. Okay, so that's how you can create a method with parameters. So any questions?
No, sir.
Yeah. Here, see, constants you can declare with a final keyword. So I'll tell that final also later. So let's go to static blocks. I told you static keyword can be applied on the method variable. I have given the method and variable till now. Now I'm going to give static blocks. Static blocks mainly used for initializing your static variable values. So first you can declare a static variable, then you can initialize with the different values. You can assign a different value for that static variable from static block. So these static blocks are executed in the class once the class is loaded into JVM. So you can include more than one static blocks in the same class. It's up to you how many you want to write. How many static blocks you want to write, it's up to you. So static blocks can access only static variables. You cannot access non-static variables. So static variables are accessible inside the static blocks and static methods, both. So even in the static methods, non-static methods also you can access the static variables. So everywhere you can use static variables because those are common to all. So like, you can see college name is a property which is common to all the students. So company name is a common property to all employees. So this is the kind of examples you can just think of. So here, college name is common, company name is common. That's why you have to declare them always static so that you can save the memory. You can save the memory. Otherwise, if you make a non-static, unnecessarily memory occupies every time for that value, that variable. You have to create every time a new object. That's a waste of memory. So that's why static, when there is a common thing, use static. See here, static. See, I declared a static int j, but I didn't assign a value. Static int I 10. Now, see in the static block, how can you declare a static block? With a static keyword. There is no name again, only static keyword. Then curly bracket ends. So j equal to I multiply by 5. I multiply by 5. So I'm assigning j this value. Some calculation we are doing, that's it, nothing other than that. I multiply by 5. That means whatever the I value, and I'm multiplying with a 5. So that means j contains what is the value?
50.
50, sir.
So that's it. Very simple calculations we are doing. Other than that, nothing. So you can assign whatever the value you want. Okay, so you are the programmer. You can give any value. Okay. So that's all about static block and static methods, static variables. So why main method made it as a static? So what is the reason for that? See, main method is the one which is already created by Java, which is given to us. If you want to execute your code, you must include that in your class, static method, static main method. If you don't include that in the main method, you cannot execute your program. That's very simple. Okay. So main method means first the cursor will start from main method only. Cursor will start from main method only. And if you have a static block, then what? So then which one will execute first? First a static block, then main method. Inside cursor will come. If only main method is there, always cursor will go to main method only. Whatever the order, the lines of code is there, that will execute. So that's the main method. Then why do they made main method as a static? So main means it's a beginning part. Why do they made main method as a static? So suppose if they don't do main method as a static, it will leads for extra memory allocation. Sir, why it will leads for extra memory allocation? For every line execution, the compiler will call the main method. The JVM will call the main method. Every line execution. If you are calling every time, it will occupy a memory. For example, if there is 100 lines, 100 times it will call and 100 times memory occupies. It's a waste of memory, right? If it is a common, why do you want to make it as a non-static? So that is the reason. So they made it a main method as a static to avoid the extra memory allocation. Okay, so that's the main advantage. It saves the memory if you, so because of making that main method as a static, because it will execute every time you want to execute a code. So you need that. That's why it's a common thing. Main is a common to all the lines of code. That is the reason. So to avoid extra memory allocation, so they made the main method as a static. Okay, so that's one thing important. Then what is void? So void keyword in the, so any methods, so all the methods are going to have void keyword, right? So if you see method syntaxes, see your methods are having void keyword. So what is this void keyword? So now you understand the access modifiers, you understand static keyword. Now let's understand void. So what is meant by void? So void is a return type keyword in the method signature line. It will be applied nowhere else, only in the method. So only in the method signature line you will use this void keyword. But if you declare a method with void, that method doesn't return any value. It just executes for you, that's it. But no value you will get from that method. Method will give you some output also. But if you use void, you cannot use that method output anywhere else. Just it will execute, but it won't give you any value to us. So that is the main method syntax. Void keyword. Void keyword means void is a return type keyword, so which can be applied on the method signature line only. So when you use void keyword, the method doesn't return any value. So are there methods without void? Yes, we do have. Methods without void also we can create. So here is the one. First, let me give you a method syntax, a static method syntax with void. Access modifier, static, void, method name, parenthesis, curly bracket, calculations plus logical statements, curly bracket ends. Non-static method or instance method syntax with void. Access modifier, void, method name. Can you observe a difference between this line and this line?
Static keyword is not there, sir. Second sentence.
That's the non-static. See, non-static. That means static keyword must not be present here. Static method means static keyword must be present in the method signature. Are we good? So very easy to recognize which is the static, which is a non-static. Are you all clear?
Yes, Ramesh.
Okay. So if you don't write void in the method signature line, so I'm not writing void here, then what will happen? That means that method is returning some output to you. You can use that output anywhere else. How can you use that? By calling the method. You call the method will give you output after all calculations. But definitely it will give you output to you. You can use that output anywhere else. That's the method without void. So very important for us. So there are many methods which gives a output from the web pages. You just assume in the web pages, there are many methods which gives output to us. You need to get the data from web page. How can you get it? You have to create a return type methods or already existing return type methods. You can use them. We have so many return type methods. That means with a method without void. Then what you will write, sir, in the void place, you can ask. So let's see the syntax. A static method syntax without void. Access modifier, static. See, void place, what it is coming? Data type, method name, parenthesis. Parenthesis inside, calculations plus logical statements. After all calculations, you will get output. That output you return. You will write a body inside. Last statement should be a return keyword. Return the value. So that means this method will return the output of type this data type. So this value is this data type value. That's a return keyword, must be there. That's a last statement in the method body. Then you will close the curly bracket. That's a static method syntax without void. So non-static method syntax without void. Access modifier, data type, method name, parenthesis, curly bracket. You write all calculations and logical statements, then return the output, curly bracket ends. So that's the method without void of non-static. That means this method returns this value. Wherever you are calling this method name, you will get this value there. You can use this output there. Maybe you can assign to some variable, or you can just use that method output, whatever you want. That is the non-static method without void keyword. Okay, so that's all about void. Main method. So main is a built-in method in Java. It is already created by Java. The program execution begins from this line onwards only. So any method naming conventions are, if a method name contains one word, all letters should be in lowercase. Like you see, method name, all lowercase. So click parameter, type parenthesis, parameters. See, all these are one word. So observe the difference between class and method. So these are all lowercase if one word is there. Second rule. If a method name contains more than one word, first word, all letters should be in lowercase. From second word onwards, each word first letter should be in uppercase. Don't provide any spaces between the words. So like this, click and wait. How many words are here in this?
3, sir.
3. So that's why first word all lowercase, second word onwards, each word first letter in uppercase. Remaining letters are in lowercase. So these rules must be followed when you are creating a class. Sorry, you are creating a method, or you are already using the already created method. So you are using already created method. That time also you must follow these rules. So method name should be a verb because it represents the action. And method name is followed by parenthesis. So and then curly brackets or body must be there. So that's the use lower camel case for naming the methods. So make sure camel case, lower camel case for naming the methods. So I have given the class naming conventions, method naming conventions now. Okay. So see that set first name,